Hello， 好，我们接着来读读小王子了啊。
Beside the wall, there was a ring of an old stone wall. When I came back from my work the next evening, I saw from some distance away my little prince sitting on top of a wall, with his feet dangling, and I heard him say, "Then don't you remember this is not the extra spot?" Another voice must have answered him, for he replied, Yes, this is the right shape, but this is not the place. I continued my walk toward the wall, and no time did I see or heard anyone. Then the little prince, however, replied once again, Exactly. You will see where my trunk begins, in the sand. You have nothing to do but wait for me here. I shall be here tonight. It was only 20 meters from the wall, and I still saw nothing. After a silence, the little prince spoke again. You have a good poison. You are sure that will not make me suffer too long. I stopped in my tracks, but heard thunder. But still I did not understand. Now go away, said the little prince. I want to get down from the wall. I shut my eyes then from the foot of the wall, and I leaped into the air. There before me, flankling a little prince, was one of the yellow snakes that takes 30 seconds to get one out of reefs.
少了，掉了一行。
To bring your life ends, and I was digging into my pocket and get out my rifle. I made a grand step back, but at the noise I made, the snake let himself fall easily across the sand, like the dying spray of a mountain, and in no apparent hurry, disappeared with a light metallic sand among the stones. I reached the wall just in time to catch my little man in arms. His face was white as snow. What does this mean? I demanded. Why are you talking with the snakes? I had a golden muffler that always warned. I had moistened his temple and then gave him some water to drink. And I know I did not dare ask him any more questions. He looked at me very gravely and put his arms around my neck. I feel his heart beating like the heart of a dying bird shouting by someone's reef. I'm glad that you have found what's the matter with your engine, he said. Now I can go back home. How did you know about that? I was just coming to tell him that my work had been success beyond anything that I had dared to hope. He made no answer for my question, but he added, "I too are going home today." Then sadly, it is much farther. It is much more difficult. I realized clearly that something extraordinary was happening. I held him close in my arms as if he were a little child, and yet it seems to me that he was rushing headlong toward the abyss, from which I could not seem to restrain him. He looked very serious, like someone lost forever, far away. I have your ship, and I have the ship's box, and I have the muzzle. And he gave me a sad smile. I waited a long time. I could see that he was roving a little by little. Dear little man, I said to him, you are afraid. But he was afraid. There's no doubt about that. But he laughed lightly. I shall be more afraid this evening. Once again, I felt myself froze by sense of something erupt, and I know that I could not bear through the through of never heard that laughed anyone. anymore. For me, it was like the spring of fresh water in the desert. My little man, I said to him, I want to hear your laugh again. But he said to me, tonight it will be a year. My stars then can be found right above the place that I came to Earth a year ago. My little man, I said, tell me what is only a bad dream. This is afraid of the snake and middle place and the stars. But he did not answer my plea. He said to me instead, the thing that's the important is things that have no teaching. Yes, I know. It is just as it with the flowers. If you love a flower that lives on a star, it is sweetness to look at the skies at middle. And all the stars are bloom with flowers. Yes, I know. It is just as it with the water because of the pulling and the rope. What you have given me to drink was like music. You remember how good it was? Yes, I know. And at night you will look up the stars. Where I live, everything is so small that I cannot show you where my star is to be found. It is better like that. My star will be just one of the stars for you, and you will love to watch the stars in heavens. They'll be your friends, and besides, I'm going to make you a present. He laughed again. Ah, little prince, dear little prince, I love to hear you laugh. That is my present, just that. It will be as it was. Then we drink the water. What are you trying to say? All must have the stars, he answered, but they are not the same thing as different people. For some who are travelers, the stars are guards. For some others are more than little lights in the sky. For others who are scholars, they were problems. For businessmen, they were wheels. But these are all stars are silent. You alone have the stars as no one else has them. What are you trying to say? In one of the stars I shall be living, in one of the stars I shall be laughing. And so it will be that if the stars you laugh in, when you look up the sky at night, only you stars can laugh. And he laughed again. And when your sorrow is completed, time solves all sorrows. You will be counted that you have known me. You'll always be my friend. You will want to laugh with me, and you will sometimes open your window. So for that pleasure and 真的是这个真的写得好，对吧？Your friend will probably astonished to see you laugh as you look up the sky. When you will say to them, yes, the stars always make me laugh, and they'll think you're crazy, and they possibly that will be a very shabby trick they have played on you. Then, and he laughed again. It will be as if in the place of the stars I had given you great number of little bells that knows how to laugh. And he laughed again. Then quickly became serious. Tonight, do not come, said little prince. I shall not leave you, I said. I shall be look if I was suffering. I shall look a little if I were dying. It is like that. Do not come to see that. It is not worth the trouble. I shall not leave you. But he was worried. I tell you, this is also because of the snake. He must not bite you. Snakes, they are manliest creature. These ones might bite you just for fun. I shall not leave you. But he thought a moment to assure him. This is true that they have no points for second bite. That night I did not see him out of his way. He got away from me without making a sound. When I succeeded in catching him up he was walking along the quickly and rift step. He said to me mildly, "Ah, you're here." And he took me by the hand. He was still worrying. It is wrong if you come. You will be suffer. I shall look if I were there. And that will not be true. I said nothing. You understand, it is too far. I cannot carry his body with me. It's too heavy anyway. I said nothing. But it will be like an old shabby shell. There's nothing to sad about old shoes. I said nothing. He was a little disgusted, but he made one small effort. It will be very nice. I too shall look at the stars. All the stars will be whales in fresh pulley, and the stars will pour out fresh water for me to drink. I said nothing. That will be so amazing. You will have 500 million little bells, and I shall have 500 springs of fresh water. And he too said nothing because he was crying. He did. Let me go by myself. Then he sat down because he was afraid. Then he said again,